Let's take a trip back to 2015. For me, I was just 11 years old, glued to my PS3, eyeballing the new shiny PS4 hitting the store shelves. Although I was amazed by the next-gen consoles, something else caught my eye. A PC. You see, I was deep into World of Warcraft. Even at a young age of 11, I thought it was the best game ever. And then one day, while cruising through YouTube on my dad's computer, I stumbled upon a video from one of my favorite YouTubers at the time, Vanoss. The title, Gmod Sandbox Funny Moments. My tiny 11-year-old brain was instantly captivated. What was the game? Lo and behold, that game was Garry's Mod. I needed to make a Steam account. Check. Beg my mom to buy me the game. Check. 4 hours later, I was in. I had no clue what I was doing. I roamed aimlessly, searching for an objective, but all I found was an empty canvas. That is until I stumbled upon the spawn menu. Now with something to do, I just started to spawn in stuff. I mean, every simple click was something else that I could put in the world. Sooner or later, I started to learn the art of mashing my left click until I could spawn everything I could possibly find. Before I knew it, on my old Dell computer, my thing was lagging. No later after that small little brief moment of me playing Garry's Mod, it was time for bed. But right after school, I had the thrill of coming home knowing that Garry's Mod awaited, a playground just for my creativity. It was almost like I had my own universe, playing as God and making up scenarios for my virtual puppets. Again, being 11, this was a goldmine for me. I can have anything I want, and the game only costed $10, so I mean, it's a win-win. Eventually, I stumbled across the dupe menu, which was filled with so many different things from the workshop. I could build giants, I could build cars, I could literally do anything I wanted. But with spawning in and going through each page, there just wasn't enough content. I eventually stumbled across the workshop. Now, what was a little confusing for me was, what is the difference between dupes and the workshop content? And honestly, I can't even answer that now. I do know that Garry's Mod workshop is filled with different assets and different textures, and most of the dupes are really vanilla based and they don't really go much further than that. So I downloaded the first map I seen, restarted my game, and spawning into this world felt a lot different from the last one. It's dark, quiet. I hear cars driving, but don't actually see any. All that lights the area are the light posts. I walked over to the Dollar General that was over here and tried to hit the door handle, but I couldn't open it. Walking around a little more, it just felt like I wasn't the only one here. The trees moving, the air, the wind, something just seemed off. Out in the distance, I could see some type of smoke or fire behind this building. I went up there to see if it was a hobo or something, but there was no one there. Going around a building, I ran into the doorway of a gas station. This place just felt so odd to me. I can't really describe it, like almost eerie of the fact that I'm hearing noises, but I don't actually see anything. I figured out that the gas station that I was in was right where I spawned next to, so I decided I would look and see if I could get into any other buildings. Eventually, walking for a little bit, it kind of clicked to me that I'm definitely not going crazy. There is something around here because this car crashed into this car and the lights are still beeping on it. A car battery shouldn't last super long, so it's kind of interests me that there's already a car crash right here. Right next to the cars, there was a church, and I decided I would go in this building because, I mean, I was going around and exploring, so I felt like if there was ever a time to do it, it would be now. Walking in, it was pretty barren. I mean, there wasn't really anything, and then I went on to the next room that had Windows 12 on the computer, which for 2011, that was pretty cutting edge. In the other rooms, there wasn't much. There was a cleaning closet, which there wasn't anything that was odd in there. Opening the next door, it was just a chapel. There wasn't really anything that stood out to me other than some pews and the cross, but I was trying to see if this was leading to outside or not, but I couldn't find anything. I wanted to take a peek outside to see if I could see anything, and I actually did. All the way off in the distance, there was something standing by this light pole, and I had no idea what it was, but it was safe to say I was right. I definitely was not alone. I ran back outside and whatever it was wasn't there anymore. Eventually, I stumbled upon some type of building that sold books, and looking around, it was pretty bland. They didn't have a lot of selection, and walking through, there was almost nothing at all. I heard some noises, so I got up out of there pretty quick, but right around the back of the building, there was this Jeep that was playing a radio or some type of message. Take a listen because I found this kind of creepy. And not to mention, the Jeep was running. Not too much longer after that, I stumbled across another building, but it was completely unmarked. I looked around and tried to see if I can open a door, but what really caught my eye was that the microwave was running with food in it. Someone must have literally just been here because that makes no sense that this food is still going. Creeped out, I moved on to this liquor store building that was right next door, and there was absolutely nothing in there. Moving on to the next building, I saw something really interesting. A lady leaned up against the wall, slowly looking down and back up at me through the window. Was actually so creeped out. I had no idea what was going on. I looked around, I saw another lady singing in a chair, but there was nothing happening. Static TV was playing, and that was it. Moved on, I found a 7-Eleven that had a running car sitting right outside of the gas pump. Ran inside to see if I could find anybody, but there was no one. The time rang 2:12 in the morning, and that was it. No one else was there but a running car. Trespassing on another house. This one, the lights were completely off, but the stove was on. Found that kind of odd. Walking through, I didn't really see anything other than a litter box, and the microwave and the stove turned right on. Not necessarily running, but they were on. Going to the back room, it was a bedroom. I saw some clothes hanging up on the hangers and the bed made neatly, but nothing other than that. I couldn't flick the light switch on and off. Nothing. Just completely empty. I found another house not too far from the one we just looked at and seemed pretty vacant as well. No one living in it, and honestly, this one spooked me out a little bit more. The feeling that someone was here but gone is insane. Looking in the bathroom, the lights were on and quickly looked and see if there was anybody in the shower curtains, but luckily there was nobody there. Walking into a hotel, I found it kind of weird that all the lights were on, but seemed kind of normal and cozy. Most of the doors were locked anyway, other than the stairwell and one other room that was upstairs, and it was pretty bland. You can't really have that much in a hotel room, but had a bathroom, had its bedroom, and that was just about it. I already ran around most of the area already, so I knew it was kind of getting close to time. In a way off corner of the map, I found this really bad broken down house. I mean, some candles were lit and that was just about it. I heard the rats running around and it was completely trashed. I mean, there was absolutely no way you would be able to walk in here. Scanning some of the rooms, they were pretty barren. This one had graffiti on the wall with a blue chair sitting in it with a candle lit. Kind of weird. So I ran upstairs and opened this door to see what was upstairs. The first room I walked into had nothing but a mattress laying on the ground and some clothes on the ground. I made my way to the next room and there's really nothing in here as well except for a box that I destroyed and maybe a candle. Seeing that there was nothing in there, I wanted to go to the next room. And in this room, I heard something. I saw nothing. I heard something, but I saw nothing at all. And walking out of that house, I was terrified. Had no idea what was going on because no one was in there. It made no sense. Either someone was on the steps and I got lucky and ran out on time, or it was just my imagination.